can you tell us a bit about the inspiration behind the single?
Well, it's really about everybody in the world feeling inadequate or having illusions of ourselves that we never seem to quite match up to. You know, and that you're promising it's going to be different tomorrow, and you know all these things that you believe you are, you will be. Like, you know, if you want to have an argument, you do it really well. You'll walk out the door and you'll slam the door. You won't fall on your way out, and you won't, you know, mumble or blabber on like I'm doing. So yeah, so that's kind of the inspiration is really life. You know that. You know, things don't always work out the way you planned. You just got to go with it and you're fine the way you are. You know, that's kind of really what it's about.
I don't think anybody in the world would believe that you feel inadequate. Do you get those times of feeling inadequate?
I think you'd want to be not human to not feel inadequate in times in your life. Like everybody, I think most entertainers or musicians are the most insecure people about themselves, you know, so for sure, yeah.
Now, the video is quite a big change for you, actually. Can you tell us about filming it, how you decided on that idea?
Well, we wanted to do something different. Very much for quite a while we have, but this song really demanded more of it. We wanted to get some humour into it. We kind of felt we'd done the smouldering, wind blowing thing quite enough, and you know we just wanted to have a laugh, and with the song being about, you know, the third line of it is, what was it? Do you ever feel you're someone else inside and no one understands? So I mean that just brought on to a different level, which in that, yeah, maybe you're a punk inside and no one understands, or you're Destiny's Child inside and, you know, no one understands, or somebody from Spinal Tap, which you most definitely are inside and no one understands. So that kind of really was the inspiration behind it. We talked with the director, Danny Jacobs, and said, look, let's have a laugh on this, and went through a whole load of different anecdotes that we could do, and that's what we came up with.
So which of the things, you know, R&B, the rock, which of those are you most like inside?
I think there's elements of them all. What are we most like?
I think the rock one.
I don't think I'm a punk inside.
No, I don't think the punk one. I think the rock one we were all kind of like, we're able to just go for it, you know, in a sense, and feel very comfortable doing that. You know the way like when you're a kid and you pretend to be some other band. It's like, it was kind of like that thing when we did it, you know, we just like said, you know, let's just go all out and have these like soaring guitar solos and things like that. So we found that one probably the easiest, the most natural to do, I would say.
Funny.
Yeah. So did you ever, or do you ever play air guitar in your bedrooms in front of the mirror?
Not in front of the mirror in our bedrooms.
I used to do when we were younger.
I tried to with my best friend for the laugh. Listening to music.
So could we ever expect, like, say, a full-on rock song from the Corrs?
We do a lot of traditional, you know, stuff that we mix with rock already. We've already done that on our records, but I mean, I don't see us doing a full-on.
You see, we just write what we naturally feel, and I mean, I don't feel inspired, and I don't think any of us feel inspired in a heavy rock way.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that happening.
But it's nice to kind of try it out.
It's nice to be somebody else for the day.
It's great to put on a wig and be the uglier you are, the better you're doing your job. It's great.
Yeah.
Now, we've heard the story in the papers about Andrea turning down a role in Dr. Zhivago. Is that true, the stories?
No, the stories, no, it's really embellished. All I was asked to do was audition. They were interested in me to audition, so I got the script and I read it, which was an amazing script, a more modernised version. But I felt it was too much for me to take on board. You know, it's 4 hours long and it's the female lead. To carry that, I don't believe I have the time or the skill to do it. And that was really what it was down to. It wasn't really down to anything else, because I think if there was things, if they really wanted me, and if there was things in the script that I didn't feel comfortable doing, I think they would have done it in a more subtle way. It was nothing what the papers have made it out to be.
Because Jerry Halliwell kind of strips off in her new video. Would you ever think about doing something?
Well, does she?
No,
oh, really?
Never. We'd never strip off in our videos, no.
No, I don't really feel comfortable. I mean, some artists feel very comfortable with that. You know, a lot of artists do. And I think if it's done in a humorous way, it can be funny. You know, like the way Robbie did it. Like, I mean, that's a guy. I suppose it's going to be funny if a guy takes his clothes off. But it's never really the same for a woman. But we've never really been that type of band where we just kind of get get our clothes off in video, so I don't see it ever going to happen.
It's
you know.
embarrassment. It's horrible.
I don't think my body's good enough to show that many people, to be honest. You know.
But you'd be alright being brothers and sisters.
I'd be
lovely. That's nearly worse.
Hi, Jim. You look gorgeous with nothing on.
Great. Oh no, that's disgusting now. That's really gross.
Talking of the acting thing, have you got any ambitions, Andrew and any of the others really, to do more acting?
I don't have any like concrete ambitions really. I mean, I kind of just go with the flow and see what will happen. And I mean, I think this is more than likely, and I actually think it is. A lot of people have, and it's kind of what the song is about really as well. You know, a lot of people have illusions that, you know, that it's kind of like the grass is always greener. You'd be better if you were somewhere else. I think maybe I am the best at this. You know, to presume that just because I'm a singer that I could step into something that people are very talented and also very well trained at, to think that I could just walk into that and go, hey, you know, when do you want me? Is, I think, really presumptuous. So I would consider it very carefully. If I was going to do it, I would really want to be great and that you wouldn't even recognise that I was from a band in it at all.
So you're not going to head off to Hollywood?
No.
Do you think it's
I wouldn't like it there, I don't think, anyway.
Do you think it's unfair, because a lot of acts, like Samantha Mumba is acting, Tori Kitten are talking about it, even Beyonce has been lined up for Austin Powers 3. Do you think it's unfair that acts now are often expected to be all-rounders rather than just being musicians?
Not unfair. It's wonderful opportunities for people. I mean, so it's definitely, it's not unfair on them that they're expected to be. It might be unfair on people that are in theatre school and really working hard at trying to be an actress, and then you see somebody just kind of swan into a lead role, which is fine because obviously something's seen in them. But it's definitely not unfair. No, it's like it's a land of opportunities. It's wonderful for them.
Yeah.
Would you ever like to take a more behind-the-scenes role in the music industry? Because lots of people are kind of managing other bands or writing for other artists. Is that something you're interested in getting involved in?
I would never want to manage a band. That would just kill me. Managing a band, I know what they're like. You know, that's a tough job. You know, God, but you know, you never know in the future. But
maybe we would write for other people in the future.
Yeah.
You know, if we didn't want to be fronting it ourselves.
Yeah, we'd definitely write for other people. Yeah, if they were interested. Yeah.
If you had the chance to do like a white label where nobody would know it was you, what kind of style would you go for?
Oh. You know, what kind of style? I think I'd like.
I have no idea.
What kind of style? I don't know. I kind of might like something country, kind of like, you know. Like you wouldn't see it. So I really think country music is really great, and I think lyrically it's very earthy and it's about real things, rather than, you know, my bitch or anything like that. So yeah, I think that's probably, I'd probably go country. I love Dolly Parton, like, but I don't have the assets.
I need a slightly bigger chest.
Andrea, I heard that you've gone sort of slightly more public about your new relationship. Do you think that's going to affect your songwriting?
Yeah, I probably would have a probably more realistic perspective than my kind of romantic dreams. But I think it's probably even more romantic. It's not that I've gone public; it's just that it's actually true for a change. That's all.
Yeah. Is it hard when people are constantly kind of crying about things?
Yeah, because we just do this because we do this about music, and I think really Irish people in general are very private people, very much about the family, very much about you know, your own stuff is your own stuff. I mean, music though brings you into the public world, but we're really not about. We're not really about publicising all our personal stuff, you know.
When can we expect to hear a new album from you guys?
Well, we're going to go into the studio. I mean, we've done this best of at the moment, and we're going to go into the studio probably in February and start writing and recording again. So, I mean, as soon as it's done and we get it pressed enough, and we're happy with it, it'll be next year sometime, but we're not sure when.
So, why did you think now would be a good time to release a best of?
We didn't know when was going to be a good time to release it. We'd already had In Blue out, and we thought, you know, we're not going to have anything out for a while because it's going to take us a while to get back into the studio, and we thought maybe this is the better time for us. There is no good time really, and we were going to wait. We were going to wait longer. We decided not to. And it was always going back and forth. Will we? Won't we? And we eventually said we'll do it now.
Lots of people say that like a best of or greatest hits is the end of chapter 1,
Mm-hmm.
and chapter 2 will be slightly different. How different will your new stuff be?
It's hard to foresee, but I suppose Would You Be Happier and Make You Mine is probably a hint of what's coming next. I mean, we're never going to write in a drastically different way. It would be too difficult for us because what you're writing is very natural to you. So, but it's really, to us, it's not really end of chapter 1, though it is a decade closed. And I mean what is on the best of is a decade worth of our writing, and the representations of the last 10 years of us, the way we'd like to be represented. So plus 2 new songs. So I mean, it really is. It's just really a compilation for people who want to get the singles. I don't personally view it as end of a chapter, really.
Have you got any collaboration plans?
Not as yet. I mean, you know, sometimes if something comes up, we might collaborate with somebody, and we have done the very odd thing, but we'll see. I mean, it only happens if we click with somebody or if we meet them and we get on, and we might do it. It's not like we force collaborations, you know.
Is there anybody you'd love to work with?
It's hard to know in advance when you haven't met them, because
Yeah.
often public people can shatter your illusions when you meet them in real life, and other times they're amazing. So I mean, it is as Caroline said about the particular chemistry that happens, whether you get on great or whether you're on the same wavelength, whether you feel you could do something good together. I don't know. I can't think of anybody.
With Robbie Williams, he's just done this Frank Sinatra tribute concert. If you could do a tribute to anyone, a whole concert like that, who would you do it to?
It's tough to do that. I mean, I think he took a real risk there, and good on him for doing that. But I feel that if I really adored somebody, and I think we've all actually talked about this, if you really looked up to somebody, like say Robbie looks up to Frank Sinatra, it'd be hard to imagine that you could pull it off so good as your idol, because if you idolize somebody, it's hard to believe that you could do it justice. You know, so I can't think that we
you know, if we do a cover, we're always scared of not, you know, getting it right. Like Dreams was the only one where we thought this works, but other times we've done stuff and went, nah, this isn't working. So I think we'd be a little bit not really into that, because we wouldn't want to make a mess out of it. You know.
You could do a Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah.
I could, yeah. Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep, and I can hardly do to keep.